I realised was actually at the upper end of the tempo range suggested. I was playing it at about 102, I think. So the lower end of that tempo range, 84, will give you something like this. Which may be more manageable, of course. The first thing I would consider changing is in bar 4, after the repeat sign. What's written is 1 and 2 and doing getting the bar like that. I think that's quite tricky to do at speed. I use second and third and do bring the bar in there in at that point. I think that's easier to do at speed. The first really dodgy bit is bar 6. Get the second finger on the B, not the first as indicated. That means you can come up, just guide these up. And this is where we need to make sure, practice it very slowly so you can let go of any unnecessary tension that might have built up in the hand. Particularly making that little movement there with the second finger, holding onto the fourth finger here. If you've got excess tension in the hand, that's difficult to do. So practice it, let go of tension, let the second finger move back, and then back again. Okay. Practice it very slowly, even do the no pressure practice, which is having the fingers in place, but making the movements without pressing down. So of course you can do that with any tricky part of the piece. As we go from bar 7 to bar 8, there's a bit of a timbral change between these notes and the open E there, which can be avoided by just bringing the fingers forward a little bit. I didn't do that in my rendition, but it just bring the fingers forward a bit like that. It just rounds off that E a little bit and makes it sound a little bit more consistent with the notes prior to it. Okay, the next dodgy bit is bar 13, and we've got the arpeggio leading up to it. When I get the tip of the finger on the G there, not as indicated, that where we have the bar A right across, because you cut the D off, of course. Get the bar A at this point. Second finger on the G sharp, you can lift the bar A. I put a slur in there from the fourth to the third. You don't have to, it's not indicated, but I like it. And then that bit would again practice slowly and making sure you let go of any unnecessary tension in the hand. Bring the first finger down. The second finger stays there while the first and third reach across. Second finger comes back on the C sharp, leave that there until you've got the fourth and the third in place. I would slur to the second finger that's already there rather than swapping to the third as indicated here. Okay. Also in my version of this, my refingering in bar 15, the second finger then moves up to the D there, which means you can get the fourth finger on the C natural and do a slur to the B flat, and then I do that. So that's my refingering there, bar 15, second finger up. You may prefer the original fingering, which is fourth finger on the D. You can do a kind of fake slur by hammering on there. I never like those personally. I never do them very effectively, I suppose. You could just miss out the slur and play. In Bach's music, those slurs don't necessarily mean a technical legato anyway. So, do whichever fingering works for you there. Then we're coming up to the G and the B flat with the second and third fingers. There's another place where there's quite a little bunch of fingers there too, and it can be slightly awkward because you've got your first finger on the C sharp and fourth finger coming down on the D. And, you know, you've got this hand quite bunched up, so slightly awkward that. But bring the third finger across to the D. This is bar, beginning of bar 16, and get the slur down. First finger there. Get the fourth finger on the F sharp. So come back with the second finger on the A. Get the first finger on the on the B flat there, and suggest second finger to there. I would think you could just as well use the third finger on that C sharp. Then it's there, ready at the end of the bar. I can't remember what I did in my rendition now, but you definitely need the third finger to come on the C sharp at the end of the bar. So the first and the second rather, can come on the G sharp and the B. And then you're home and dry really. Get a slur here, achieved by a slide. That makes it consistent with the phrase before it. Okay, I think that just about covers left hand fingering there. Just one more thing, be aware of the phrasing right at the beginning, going back right to the beginning now. Those four bars come up a few times. The phrasing is 1 bar, 1 bar, 2 bars, so 1 bar. Answer by and then we get all of that answered by so you get short phrase, long phrase. Answer by. Answer by. Okay, so be aware of phrasing generally. I think that's going to be all for this one, so I hope that's been of some help.